Also on the program this morning, a return to Star Wars. We take a look at the stuff of childhood fantasies and tech-head dreams. The craft of robot building has taken on a new form in a Sydney garage with a group of self-taught robot engineers.
And it's not just all about binary language chat. These robots go well beyond the garage, visiting hospitals and putting the smiles on sick kids' faces.
Do you reckon the current generation of kids know what those robots are? It's sort of the Daleks from Doctor Who and R2-D2 from Star Wars.
I think they still have a hold on it.
Do you reckon though this is it's a boyhood fantasy, isn't it? I don't think too many girls would be too interested in building those things.
I'm a bit of a fan of a bit of R2-D2 and you know, the Daleks made a huge impression on my childhood.
Who was the other robot in Star Wars?
C-3PO.
Yeah, well done. Every Wednesday night in a Sydney garage, childhood fantasies come to life. A group of self-taught tech heads, is that a polite term for nerds or for geeks? They gather to help each other build the robots of their dreams.
It may sound like a daunting hobby, well, for the likes of me anyway, but as Adam Stephen discovered, even a complete novice can become fluent in the binary language.
Thanks to Hollywood movies like Star Wars, The Terminator and The Transformers, we either think of robots as being our obedient servants or evil creatures hell-bent on our destruction. Our fascination with these computerised creatures is said to have evolved from our basic desire to understand the universe and how things work. It's this curiosity that's driven a bunch of people in this garage in Sydney to build their very own robots.
I was always interested in robotics as a kid, and when the movies came out with robots in them, I just decided to make those robots as well, and I got together with other people, usually on the internet, and then I found a lot of people locally that wanted to do the same thing, and we came together and helped each other get their robots built.
It's one thing having an idea, how do you go about building one?
Well, there's a lot of different areas involved, electronics, mechanics, drawings. All of those things have to come together for you to be able to build a robot. So all of us have different skills. We put those together, we help each other out, teach each other those skills, and then gradually we can build the robots that you see.
Among the lathes, the drill presses and the bandsaws, you could be forgiven for thinking of time warped into a galaxy far, far away. Whether it's something from Star Wars or Doctor Who, Dave Everett says a complete novice can build the robot of their dreams with a bit of imagination, some encouragement and a little bit of advice. 12-year-old Alex Voinovich has taken over a year to complete his robot, which was a completely original design.
This is Bruce. He was originally an idea that I just thought up in my head. I sketched him down a couple of times. He started a lot more blocky than he is now, and this was not his intended design, but I think it has worked out quite well. He can move around, his claws are fully operational. He's just, in my opinion, when we go to shows, he's a kid attractor. A lot of kids enjoy what he does and how simple he is.
To give us some sort of idea for the dedication and passion that goes into building these robots, I'm joined by George and Alex, who both have R2-D2 replicas here. George, how long did your R2 take to make?
About 6 months.
And what gave you the idea to build an R2-D2?
I was hooked on Star Wars since 1977, actually. As soon as I saw him on screen, I just thought he was the best thing in the whole world, so I've been dying to build one since then.
Now, this is the R2 that you're happy with at the moment, but it's not the final R2 that you're going to build. What will the next R2 have?
The next one's going to have opening doors, it's going to have all the arms come out, it's going to have the periscopes that you see in the other films, and I think that one's going to take me probably like 5 years to build, so...
It's funny you come up with the year 5 years there, because Alex over here, now how long's your R2 taken to build, Alex?
So far it's been going pretty much 5 years, yeah.
And that's because you're a perfectionist, isn't it?
Well, more like I get distracted a little pretty easily. But in all fairness, I could say that mine's going to be a bit more than what these R2s are going to be. This is going to be a home theatre system. So it's going to have a full computer inside, it's going to have a video projector, it's going to have 5 speakers around sound system.
The R2-D2s take hundreds of hours to build, but they aren't wrapped in cotton wool. Group members take them out to children's hospitals, where their presence has been known to put a big smile on the faces of some seriously sick kids. The club has also attracted worldwide interest. It's inspired similar robotics groups in Melbourne, New York and Los Angeles. Dave Everett says the R2-D2s have also attracted the interest of the Star Wars creator, George Lucas.
Well, he's aware of our club, the R2-D2 Builders Club, where it began about 12 years ago. And he has used our robots for promotions, for movies and for other events that they've had. And our guys are used in commercials. There's several telephone companies in the States that use R2-D2, and our guys bring their own robots and operate them for the commercial.
If we're to believe the movies, robots will one day be able to do just about everything a human can. But the evidence here suggests that's a long way off. Most of the machines are moved around via a remote control. It's infinitely more difficult to build robots that move around by themselves. But some of the group members are working on one such project with an American university.
This is a can collecting robot. That's the ultimate goal anyway. So it's going to be an autonomous robot, which means it'll be able to wander around a room or around this workshop by itself, and we'll give it a task. The task will be to actually identify using a camera and using colour coding a can, say a red can or a green can on the floor, actually put itself in front of the can, pick it up with these grippers that we made, and then lift the can up and take it to a bin and drop the can in the bin. So you start with the basic layer, which is to be able to find its way around in a room, or at least to be able to avoid obstacles. And then you give it another task, maybe you try to send it towards a colour, and then the next task would be to try and grab that with the gripper. So you have to build it up in layers, and of course the more layers you have, the more complexity you have. So you start to get an idea of how wonderful the human body is when you try to emulate the things that we can do with mechanics and electronics.
Well, building robots may not be for everyone. It may not be too long before we're all benefiting from droids like this, and it may not be that long before you can actually watch the ABC beamed from your very own droid. What's that, R2? You don't watch the ABC? Are you always this cheeky? Only to boring interviewers? How rude. I will not tell Andrew Gagan anything of the sort. These are not the droids we're looking for.
Oh, what does he know?
They're watching you. They're watching you, Andrew. At least someone's watching.
Well, that's true.
Even if they're
I remember
critical.
seeing a cartoon with it was a bunch of Daleks at the bottom of the foot of some stairs.
Yes.
Saying, "There go our plans to conquer the universe."
That's right.
That's the problem with having wheels.